Alrighty, so this is probably, I think, out of every video that I've done, there's truly some that I've regretted running, but I do it for the content. I do it for fun, just to see if I could make a weapon or a loadout, or a hero good. But I think Red Willow was probably the worst hero that I've run, or ran in the past. That was very recent, so go check out that because horrendous. But I'm scared of what this weapon will be. When I imagine this weapon, I imagine like it's a sniper rifle from like it's the Nerf guns, Nerf guns times Fortnite collaborations. You see it in Walmart. Like that's like the vibes I get from this weapon. And you know, you don't judge a book by its cover, but sometimes you just get an instinct. You know, like you just know. You know, I have a great sixth sense, and my sixth sense is, you know, my radar's going off right now. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, we're going to be talking about the Ralphies Revenge today. Now, this weapon is a weapon that you can get through llamas. Most people don't care about it. Most people just put in the collection book and call it a day and yeet it out of the trash can, or yeet it to the trash can because it's bad. Why is it bad, you would ask? Because most people probably wouldn't ask that because people don't use the weapon and most people don't ask that question. But I'll tell you, the reason why it's bad is because it's locked to physical. Now, there's very little weapons in Save the World that's locked. Okay, that's a lie. There's a few weapons that are locked to physical in Save the World, and it's not that great. Physical enemies aren't something that you see a lot in 160s or in-game. It's not really that good, especially whenever it comes to sniper rifles. Sniper rifles are already horrendous whenever it comes to crowd clearing, but it's really great for single target damage for like killing a mist monster or like almost one shot in a smasher. You know, like the third rail has a great great damage whenever it comes to like killing smashers, mist monsters, and one shot capabilities of doing that. So if you don't blink, so the Ralphies Revenge, it being locked to physical, is not really that great. And the perks on it are just even worse. You can do a double headshot damage. It can't have a crit building because of the perks that you can have on it. Like, it doesn't even make any sense. And one of the perks is literally only damage, or you can have a magazine and reload because durability and weapon stability isn't something that you care about, especially as an in-game player, because most of those things don't matter. So yeah, it's very bad. The only good thing that probably redeems it is the 6 perk, sort of. So using this weapon, headshot eliminations cause an explosion damage enemies in a 0.5 tile radius for 30% weapon damage. So that's not bad. If you can get a headshot off of it on an enemy, you know, should be good. Now, what I'm thinking, the one thing that might make this weapon decently good is that 6 perk. Since if I can kill an enemy, a physical enemy, and then it causes that explosion, then maybe it should do a decent amount of damage to any element or any elemental husk nearby. So fingers crossed. I don't think that's the case because I don't think explosion damage has the same thing as like element damage. So I could be wrong though. But these are the perks that are running today: double headshot damage with a crit rating and damage. Now it's very abnormal not to have a crit damage, but like I said, I can't have a crit damage since it's like damage only right there. But the loadout that we're going to be running today is actually Rabbit Raider Jonesy. Now, this loadout was made, well, me and Az was talking about it, and Az said Rabbit Raider is probably the best since, you know, you can't have a crit damage wherever that damage one is. So we can run him in lead to make up for the fact that we won't have crit damage, and the crit rating will give us more of a chance to crit, and then that increased critical damage is, you know, made up for the fact that we're running Rabbit Raider and Jonesy. So if you guys don't know, Rabbit Raider Jonesy is one of the best sniper heroes in the game. I've done a video on him basically saying any sniper can be good with him in lead. So yeah, we're gonna be running Totally Rocking Out as always. I mean, just a really good weapon, or really good team perk whenever it comes to bad weapons. Subway first. You know, obvious. I want to do more damage with a bad weapon. Battle Beats, obvious too. Get Totally Rocking Out activated. Locked and Reloaded, since we're going to be reloading this weapon a decent amount. Quick Scope increases our sniper damage by 17% and then make it rain. So each headshot increases headshot damage by 4% for 2 seconds up to a maximum of 5 stacks. So that's 20% if we get back-to-back headshots, which hopefully we can. I don't know if my aim's that good, but fingers crossed. Should be interesting. One of those weapons that really kind of mind boggles myself. So otherwise, let's jump into the mission, test it out, see how it goes. I'm hoping for the best, but well, you know, prepare for the worst. Alrighty, we're in the mission. I've been shooting some enemies, and I know Rabbit Raider, like I said, Rabbit Raider really makes any sniper good. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that this weapon still can one-shot a mist monster while being this bad is kind of insane. All right. I really, maybe I was right. Don't judge a book by its cover, because the fact that I can one-shot a mist monster, I know this is a physical weapon, so it makes sense that I can do that, but it's also not just like those enemies. If I had more enemies, I'm gonna have to go find more enemies real quick, but it wasn't just the mist monsters. Like, I was one-shotting most generic husks. I gotta find a actual husky husk. Maybe that will stop me in my tracks, but so far, kind of impressive. Alrighty, so I found some husk right here. First, let's get rid of this healer. Oh yeah, casual 1.1 million damage. Yeah, see, that's not that bad. And the cool thing about the weapon is, like I said, the 6 perk. The fact that I can shoot an enemy and it'll do that explosion damage to the other enemies and make it like one shot is kind of nice. If not, kill the enemy itself. Like, if I can get these 2 enemies together, I kind of want to... let me see if I can get this enemy together. Why is it chasing the chicken? Get rid of the chicken. Husk, come here. Let's see. Let's get it. Let's get both these together. Let me shoot this husk here. Okay, too far away. But my point being is, it's not bad. You know, we can get that extra 6 perk damage in, and it'll actually do something to the enemies around it. And even without that, like, hitting 600,000, almost a million on a crit is insane. Now, I am told that this weapon does have a 10.8 times headshot multiplier. So with the extra double headshot multiplier is like insane, or headshot damage is insane. So, and the cool thing about this weapon, most headshot damage weapons have scopes on this on them. This one doesn't. So I feel like that's why it might actually be a little bit better and easier to use. Otherwise, let's just jump into the mission, start it up, and you know, go from there. Alrighty, so the mission has started. Now I'm hoping for a little bit more difficult enemies. Now this isn't a exploding death bomb mission, so shouldn't be too hard. If you ask me, exploding death bomb missions are easy and definitely not concerning and very annoying. But honestly, okay, yeah. See, this is the one thing I was scared of. I think whenever I don't headshot, it's like really bad. But when I do headshot, not too shabby. But moving enemies, gosh, I don't know why, but it's a little bit harder to hit. Headshot though on, okay. Hitting everything but the head. There we go. Yeah, see, whenever you don't hit in the head, that's actually not bad, or that's bad because you don't actually, was that 2.2 million damage? But my point being is you kind of actually have to hit in the head for it to do damage. So like on a smasher, the head's kind of in an abnormal place. So let me see if I, let's see, head's right there. 1.1 million damage. 350,000. Yeah, I kind of have to get it. So you have to hit in the head for it to do damage. But I mean, for a sniper that doesn't have a scope, not bad. You know, like it's easy to hit the head. If you've ever used like the hunting rifle in BR, a little bit easier to actually hit the head since, you know, it's that. Ooh, okay, so that's not a physical smasher. But let's see if I can. Okay, so I stun it. Okay, so the stun is actually not that bad. I kind of like the fact this weapon stuns. If I hit it a certain amount of times. Yeah, see, it's definitely not good, especially against elemental smashers. But a physical smasher like that one up there, if I can take a wafer, let's see if I can shoot it in the head. Yeah, see, right there. So a little less shots, which is about 50% less shots since I do 50% more, 66% more damage to physical enemies rather than the 50%. Since this is not the proper element, but physical against any element is actually 33% damage decrease, I believe, or vice versa. I think my math is something like that. I don't know. I always forget what it is, but it's a lot less damage. So yeah, Ralphie's Revenge, not too bad. I do have to add, I mean, it's all right, you know, nothing crazy about it. Definitely good for the headshot damage. I think this weapon is probably one of those weapons where you can like put in your like on the second slot, kind of like a Xeon bow or something, and just use it to, you know, try to get rid of those pesty mist monsters or pesty physical smashers that are in your way. You know, something very easy, something one-shot capability type vibe. But honestly, not that bad against regular enemies. You just kind of have to hit the head for it to actually do damage. So very inconsistent, I have to say. But let's jump into the next defense. I'm gonna use a war cry and a subwafer, and also kill the mini boss. So we'll see how that goes. Alrighty, second part of the defense has started. Now I actually had a big idea why don't I just give it to defenders? Snipers are really good whenever it comes to defenders because they only hit the head. And on top of that, the 6 perks have kind of like a glitch with it going, or like there's kind of like a glitch with it where like 6 perks are like almost always activated. So yeah, fun fact, that's why I give most of my defenders the Blastron, because the 6 perk is insane. But honestly, I think this weapon's pretty good. For the single target damage, amazing. Everything else about it kind of meh, you know. But I don't know. I kind of want a physical smasher to Warcry. Oh, perfect. Warcry, Ralphie's Revenge, headshot. Come on. Okay, 1.4 million damage, not bad. Let's see on regular enemies. If I can hit the head, let's see. Okay. 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 I think I messed up so hard because I didn't hit the head. But it's all right, you know. Now, as compared to other weapons, because, you know, someone's, you know, saying 1.4 million damage is not that good. For a sniper rifle, 1.4 million damage is actually, yeah, not that great. But, you know, compared to, like, other weapons like this weapon where it's locked to physical, 1.4 million damage is actually a decent number, you know. Whenever you compare it to, like, the third rail, where you could probably see around 6 to 8 million damage per shot, the third rail is also a very heavy hitting weapon. And it's also the proper element, and it can be energy. So, you know what I mean? Actually, I think it's locked energy. So, you know, hitting 1.4 million for a physical weapon with that double headshot damage perks, and then the multiplier on it itself on a non-physical enemy is actually really good. On a physical enemy, if I am correct with a wafer, I think we get hit. Yeah, 1.4 million. Was that what? Okay, that was 1.2, right? I'm not seeing things. I don't know why, but sometimes I mix up the numbers and I swear I see like 12 million. But that is like nearly impossible, right? Like right there? Was that couldn't have been 14 million, right? No, that was definitely, right? That was 10 million. I think that's actually 10 million right there. If I hit it in the head with a wafer activated, the 10.8 times multiplier theoretically actually should be able to get up there. 10 million damage. Yeah. So on a physical enemy, I'm able to hit around 10 million damage, which is crazy, actually. Now noting that, like, 10 million damage is wild. You know, if this weapon wasn't locked behind physical and it was on a energy or any other element, it would be insane. Now, a pattern that I've noticed with weapons that are locked to physical, because if you guys haven't seen the Ginger Blast video, that weapon is actually really insane whenever it comes to damage numbers. However, it's locked to physical, so, like, that's the reason why it's locked to physical, because the damage is actually insane. So there's reasons why most or some weapons are locked to physical. It's because of the actual damage that it outputs. Now, they can adjust the stats and whatnot, but it's Save the World isn't a game where like they can adjust stats on a crappy weapon. Like, no one cares about the Ralphie's Revenge. But if you have it and you want to upgrade it, I actually recommend upgrading it. You know, it's a great weapon for physical enemies. If you go into a mission and, you know, occasionally, sometimes you get physical enemies like smashers, mist monsters, takers, flingers, anything like that at a distance is not that bad. And actually, against single targeted enemies, like, you know, just shooting a nurse like 1.5 million damage casually, you know, not bad. It's something, one of those weapons they have to try. Dang, my defenders are just gone. What happened over here? Otherwise, yeah, get the weapon, upgrade it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. As always, subscribe down below, like the video if you enjoyed it. And once again, as always, I always say this: have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and I will catch you guys in the next one.